Okay, we're back for more of these FGO. That's Avalon Bay Act 2 that just got released it after 2 weeks later, and now it's just back here. I'm not gonna go over the recap or the thing, so you can watch it for yourself at the Aniplex channel for the recap of that Act 1. But be mindful that it may contain some story spoiler. Anyway, moving on. Opening point, Act 2. Extra, extra, extra on the deck. Da Vinci's tip home. Tipone is back. Thanks, Marine. Let's Tipone rest up in the cage until we're done writing our response. Scans for hazardous substances and containments. Time again. Scans for hazardous substances and contaminants are clear. It's a report from Da Vinci. Director Music, Holmes, if you would. Very well. Let's take a look. I see. Oh, Anthony. Heads of the fairy clan. Calamities. Mysterious fairy horse backed by Red Drop Bit. Yes, this report has proven to be yet another scintillating array of tidbits. Care to read it yourself, Bulldog?
Yes, of course. I am Chaldea's director, after all. It's my job to stay abreast of all our latest developments. If y'all pipe down, Captain, Marines, and Pot of Phil, I'll read it out loud so you can follow along. Alright, to start off, let's go over what we know about Fairy Britain thus far. Fairy Britain, aka the 6th Lostbelt, is a dangerous place where no electronic devices can function. Frost, Chaldea's resident master and special investigations officer. His exclusive servant, Mash Curelight. Our technical advisor, Leonardo da Vinci, and Tristan, a servant who was summoned out of nowhere. All set foot on Britain together. However, upon entering the fate domain known as the Nameless Words, they forgot their own names and memories and ended up separated. Frost awoke in the village of Cornwall, where he made contact with the local fairy, Artoria Castor, who would come to aid Chaldea in our mission. Thanks to her and Tristan, Frost escaped from the Nameless Words, where he then met another collaborator by the name of Oberon, the Fairy King, and he began his investigation in earnest. After reuniting with Da Vinci, Frost began gathering information on Fairy Britain with a focus on anything that might lead to him to Mash Curelight. This Lostbelt king is Morgan, a fairy who has been ruling for the past 2,000 years. The fairies who populate it are divided into 6 clans, and they also control the human population. They are creatures known as Moors, who are the fairies' natural predators. They are also Tamlin, fairy knights who possesses the names of heroic spears from proper human history. There are calamities that occur every 100 years and great calamities that occur every 1,000. And there is a figure called the Child Prophecy who is said to be the one who will defeat Morgan. After undertaking a pilgrimage to ring 6 bells kept by each head of the 6 clans, she will then go on to defeat Morgan and become the true king of Britain. Naturally, as you can imagine, Frost would never let her do something like that on her own. So he proposed a partnership with Artoria Castor without even waiting for my orders. So now, we are obliged to lend the Child Prophecy our full support in order to defeat our common enemy, Morgan. In the time since our last report, Frost's team met with Aurora, the head of the Wind Clan, had a run-in with Tamlin Gawain at a ranch for keeping humans. Fought Tamlin Tristan at an auction house, where they also rescued Senji Muramasa, a servant disciple of the foreign god. Met with Miriam, the head of the Wind Clan, encountered Konyanskaya in yet another new outfit. And had another local fairy by the name of Gareth and a mysterious Fey horse called Lostbelt joined their team. After a series of adventures, including a battle against a Drake in the River of Tears, Sulfrost's team finally arrived in the city of Norwich. There, who should they encounter but Mash Curelite, whom the local fairies believe to be the child of prophecy. No matter how many times I reread this part, it still doesn't make sense to me. How did Curelite come to be known as the child of prophecy? And what in the world is a habitat? If only this report could respond to questions. But since it can, we'll just have to use our imaginations to fill in the gaps. I'm guessing Curelite had her own share of troubles after escaping the Nameless Woods. At one point, she probably ended up saving some people. Fairies? Up in the northern part of Britain. Which probably led them to regard her as a hero. At any rate, the report also says that Sulfrost's team made contact with the Crypto Peperoncino, who had been laying low in Norwich. After numerous mishaps, the Calamity of Norwich finally appeared. Fortunately, with Chaudia's help, the child prophecy was able to defeat this calamity. However, shortly after Mash Curelite had finally been reunited with Sulfrost, she was whisked away to parts unknown by a mysterious phenomenon separating her from Sulfrost once again. But there is no time to grieve this unfortunate turn of events. I'm certain Sulfrost would agree. You see, in the surprising turn of events, he and Artoria were invited to Camelot, home of King Arthur in proper human history, and location of the evil castle in Fairy Britain, by High Queen Morgan herself. The very Morgan who possesses Rongomeniad, a powerful spell that could be used to fight the foreign god, and one of our main objectives in coming to this Lostbelt in the first place. Now, Sulfrost, Da Vinci, and Artoria, Gareth, Muramasa, and Tabby Cat have accepted Morgan's invitation and are setting out for Camelot first thing tomorrow. And that's all she wrote. Now, do you all feel sufficiently caught up?
Yay! Yeah, we got most of that. Thanks. Okay, we're gonna head back to our post now. Sounds like things are pretty crazy out there again. I hope Mash is okay. Not to worry. Avenger's report was quite upbeat. So if nothing else, we can be certain that Mash is safe. The real problem is this water mirror spell of Morgans. According to the data enclosed along with the report, it would seem that
So those dark clouds over the city of Norwich were in a calamity pool, but one of Morgan's spells. It's hard to believe she was able to remotely control such a powerful spell from over 100 kilometers away. Between this water mirror and Rongomeniad, it's clear she's a powerful enemy on par with any of the other Lostbelt kings we've seen. I'm afraid I don't know much about Morgan's legend. Could I ask you to fill me in? I already know her story from proper human history, but if you'll settle for that, then sure. Alright, let's start with her general background. According to British myth, she is the good fairy of the lake. And in the legend of King Arthur, she's depicted as an evil witch bent on destroying him. Morgan was the child of the Duke of Tintagel and Lady Igraine, I would say. Tintagel and Lady Igraine. And later became King Arthur's half-sister after her mother married King Uther. But despite their family ties, she grew jealous of him and began plotting all sorts of wickedness to make his life miserable. Some of her more notable misdeeds include stealing the sacred sword scabbard and seducing Lancelot. But the worst thing she did was trick King Arthur into impregnating her with Mordred, my god, who she later sent to join the Round Table. There were a lot of factors leading to the downfall of King Arthur's kingdom, but Morgan's definitely the one who tipped it over the edge. Paradoxically, there are also some who believe the other side of Morgan was devoted protecting King Arthur. Those theories claim that Morgan and Viviane, Lady of the Lake who gave King Arthur the sacred sword and protected him in death, are in fact the same person. Sounds like her lust for power led her to become a femme fatale.
who ruined an entire nation. So, was the Magecraft world's consensus on her? There must be more to her story than what's commonly known.
Indeed, there is. I went through our database myself after receiving our technical advisor's first report. There was one bombshell right out of the gate, and it relates to her birth. It turns out Morgan was not actually the Duke of Titajo's daughter. That was only a pretense. She was actually the child of Lady Igrane and King Uther, the rightful king of Britain. More stunning still, Morgan was never human. Instead, she was a Fey child, an offspring of the Isle of Britain, just like Vortigern, the cowardly king. But apparently, Morgan kept that fact secret and pretended to be merely a normal human child. Still, with King Uther as his father, and the absence of the rightful heir, he would have been next in line for the throne. But then, the rightful heir did appear. Once Artoria, King Arthur was accepted by the Sacred Sword and unified the lords of Britain under her leadership. Morgan stopped hiding her mystics, that is, the power of her Fey nature, and started poisoning Camelot every chance she could. She told herself, Artoria is nothing more than a human king, made so by other humans. I am Britain's true king. I alone deserve to inherit its mystics. This conviction of hers grew to the point that she eventually came to despise her father, King Uther, her sister, Artoria, and every human who refused to obey her. It was a major factor in her decision to try to destroy Britain. Why did King Arthur's once noble older sister, Morgan, become Camelot's greatest enemy in her later years? Apparently, that's the answer.
Yup. Even after she had settled in as Queen of Orkney, she still plotted Camelot's downfall from afar. 4 of the Knights of the Round Table, Gawain, Gaheris, Gareth, and Agravain, were Morgan's children. Mordred was... well, I don't know if I should say this without them here, but some experts think they were actually homunculus Morgan created, or maybe a clone of King Arthur. Particulars like that aside, it sounds pretty clear that she was an enemy of King Arthur, and a witch who tried to destroy all of Britain. So what about the supposed side of her that was focused on keeping King Arthur safe? Excellent question, Captain. There are numerous Arthurian legends, and each of them describes Morgan differently. One claims she was King Arthur's noble sister, another claims she was the Lady of the Lake, yet another claims she had been a goddess of Britain since ancient times. Needless to say, each claim would seem to rule the others out as a possibility. Common sense would dictate that one of these theories is correct, and the others refer to something else entirely. But I believe that they are, in fact, all true, and that Morgan was possessed of 3 aspects. Given that she was born under supernatural circumstances, I surmise that her human side, her fairy side, and a part of her that was Britain's own avatar all existed simultaneously. But as these parts of herself are essentially irreconcilable within a single entity, I suspect each of these aspects became an independent being. One was her human side, Artoria's kind older sister, Morgan. Another was her fairy side, Viviane, the Lady of the Lake. And the third was the avatar of Britain, Morgan Le Fay. If we assume that is the case, everything makes sense. Knights of the Round Table, then, did not bring her to justice because she was both evil and good. Now I see. Okay, I'm convinced. But, hang on, isn't Viviane another name for Nimue, the fairy who imprisoned Merlin? Yes, it is. Morgan is both King Arthur's rival and Merlin's greatest enemy. Though Merlin was the one who taught Viviane Magecraft, her infatuation with him eventually led to her despising him and ultimately sealing him away. To do so, she employed a great pounded field in the form of a sarcophagus. Spell inscribed with the words, only those free of sin may pass. As an incubus, not even Merlin could escape it. It was a spell from the Age of Gods, no garden, which could only be used by the avatar of a mystic. While it's still unclear how much this Lostbelt's Morgan has in common with Morgan from human history, it would seem prudent to assume that she has more weapons at her disposal than Gominiad alone.
First is the Lion King and Jerusalem. Now it's Morgan and Fairy Britain, huh? I swear, why are we always getting mixed up with Arthurian legends? I mean, I can understand it in this case since we're in Britain now and all, but still. I mean, what are we gonna do if Albion shows up next? I don't think even a Stormborder would have a chance.
Albion? That is what this isle was known as in ancient times, before it came to be called Britain. Though, of course, that name also refers to something else in the world. There, it refers to the last pure-blooded dragon, Albion, an extinct phantasmal who remained on the Isle of Britain even as the Age of Gods came to an end. The creatures we call dragons today are simply animals who happen to acquire some of the dragon genes left behind by the Dragon King went over to the reverse side of the world, and ended up adopting the dragon's way of life while preserving their own. With the exception of Albion's corpse, not a single pure-blooded left on the entire planet.
Yes, that is what they say in the clock tower, isn't it? Quite a romantic notion, that. But that is all it is, and Albion is but one in a long list of fairy tales. More importantly, it's now been 28 days since we began this mission. Thanks to the concentrated fruit essences our technical advisor had been sending along with the reports, we now have magical energy to spare, which would let us remain here past our initial 50-day estimate. Perhaps we should advise them to stop by the border?
True. Maybe we should. Ideally, I was hoping to complete this mission within 30 days, but that's clearly not going to happen. That said, we still don't know exactly when the collapse is going to begin, so we shouldn't be too quick to change our time limit. If we stick to our initial plan, we still have 17 days left to complete this mission. Do you think Sophros' team can pull it off in that time frame, Holmes? Well, according to Da Vinci's report, it would seem the circumstances are new, all in place. If their meeting with High Queen Morgan ends peacefully, and she proves willing to share information about Rongomeniad with them, they can then devote the rest of their time to investigating the collapse. And if it doesn't end peacefully, now that Chaldea has thrown their lot in with child prophecy, war is all but inevitable. We already know the extent of Fairy Britain's military power. If Artoria is able to complete their pilgrimage and muster a significant anti-Queen force, the battle for Camelot will be decided in a single day. I suspect that battle will take place in 16 days at the earliest, just barely within our deadline. Okay. Camelot.
I can hear people singing in a child prophecy song in the streets.
I shall speak now of the future, of the end of the Isle of Mystics, came to be known as Fairyland. Let the innocent return. Here stands the Queen's unknowable castle. It falls, like rain, like ash. It vanishes, like snow, like lies. Our desires languish deferred. Even now we dance in the palm of the Queen's hand. We require now only a little more patience. After 2,000 years, the dawn shall bring the child who will be our salvation. She shall be the child who saves the world, who binds both peoples together. Even if her light begins as but an ember, even should no one see her, she will become as a flame to draw moths. A city of iron, a sea of soot, When the calamity resets, the pilgrimage begins. Chosen by the staff of selection, the savior, guarded by travelers from afar, shall reach the throne. The true king shall arrive at the throne, accept now this bloodied crown. Ring, ring, like raging thunder, like weeping flame. Let us hearken to the 6 bells ringing, blaze the path of the true king. Ere the red calamity catches us, ere the black calamity devours us. Indolent and derelict though we may be, we are the scions of the free fae. Never have we wished for anything, but still we desire a shining future. There's no mention of Norwich being destroyed in that song. So why did Oberon said there was nothing anyone could do to stop its destruction? I wonder, does he know more of this song than everyone else? I do, as a matter of fact. The prophecy actually has 18 verses in total. Most fairies are only familiar with the 14 we just heard, but there are actually 4 more. I knew it! Why didn't you tell us this sooner, Oberon? I just forgot to mention it, okay? I'm sorry. Can we please drop it? I'm guessing you had a reason you couldn't tell us. In retrospect, maybe I was being a little overprotective. I'm sorry about that. Alright, I'll tell you. These are the other 4 verses of the prophecy, at least as I heard them. Verse 8.5, the harbor shall return to empty shore, but the calamity shall vanish into the distant sky. Verse 9.5, the round fortress shall burn, and the bell of water shall appear. Verse 10.5, confessed sinners shall make the acquaintance of the guillotine. Verse 12.5, having fulfilled her role, the child of prophecy shall say farewell to her home. As you can see, these verses are a lot more ominous. That and the fact that they're not very precise for a prophecy might be why they were excised. Case in point, verse 8.5, the harbor shall return to the empty shore, but the calamity shall vanish into the distant sky. The harbor is obliviously Norwich, and the empty shore part must mean the city was going to be wiped off the coast. So I was steeling myself to lose Norwich, even if we were able to repel the calamity. But, well, Norwich didn't fall. Is it because another child prophecy appeared? Could be. This basically proves that not even Einzel's prophecy are perfect, especially for these 4 verses. So I've decided I'm just not going to worry about them anymore. Now, on a more important note, you guys need to get going soon. Between Artoria, Gareth, Muramasa, and Habitrad, I think you should all be safe without me. So I hope you don't mind if I go off on my own again. More information gathering? Partly, yes. But I also just really want to give Spriggan his comeuppance. So I thought I'd stay here and work with the Count to knock him down a peg or 2 dozen until he hits rock bottom. Besides, we could have been reunited with Mash much sooner if he hadn't insisted on keeping the child prophecy in his castle. Don't you think he deserves at least a little punishment for that? Make sure you hit him where it really hurts. In the wallet. Just leave it to me. Bloodshed may not be the Fairy King style, but I can definitely bleed him dry financially. Before we leave, there's something I need to let you all know. Let me guess. Oberon's going off on his own again, right? I had a feeling he might. Gotcha. Well, I guess we don't all have to stick together all the time. And it's not like he's much help in combat. I'm sure Oberon would be fine on his own. But how come Redra isn't here either? He's staying behind too. Technically, he's still Aurora's retainer after all. And it wouldn't be good for her if he were seen with us right now. So I'm gonna have him stay here with Oberon and bring the carriage if we need it. I see. That makes sense. But, you there, the pink fairy? Habitat, right?
coming with us too? I mean, the way to Camelot is probably pretty dangerous, so... Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Just think of me as a spectator along for the ride. In fact, you should probably be more worried about yourself than me, Gareth. I'm the implacable healer everybody needs in combat. And I'm probably stronger than you too. Don't worry, Sopras. I'm not gonna let you die before you and Mash are reunited. So feel free to wade into battle all you like. As long as you don't die, I can patch you up with my magic needle no matter what horrific injuries you sustain.
That sounds both very close to and very far from Nightingale's preferred treatment methods.
Nightingale? Now that's a nice fairy name. So you already know a nurse as cute as me, huh? Quiet, everyone. Here comes the Queen's troops from the main gate. I apologize for our 10-minute delay. I am Tamlin Gawain, and these are 30 members of the 1st Royal Knight Moors Extermination Brigade. We are the ones who will be providing you, honored guest of Camelot, with safe passage.
Say something, Artoria.
Oh, right. Thanks for taking the trouble to come get us. I don't care if all that fog will make you cranky on the journey there, but you better treat us with respect. Got it? That is the plan, yes. We have readied a carriage for the child prophecy and a foreign mage. Your retainers will need to walk. I trust that is all right. You're the scoundrel who tried to assassinate the High Queen. How are you still alive? I saw you fall into the pit.
Oh, that? Yeah, Lancelot handed me my ass and tossed me right into the pit. But unfortunately for you, I managed to survive, and now I'm the child prophecy bodyguard. Next time you see Lancelot, tell her not to take her eyes off her servant until their spirit urge is completely gone. What should we do, Lady Gawain? Are we really okay letting this man back into Camelot? What if he tries to assassinate the Queen again?
It's alright. If he does, he won't have the element of surprise anymore. I can take him myself. Especially now that the Queen has assured me not to worry if combat damages or destroys the castle.
Yeah? Hey, that's great. You barely fit into place anyway. Could help you move around better. Next time we fight, I'd rather it just be head to head, without either of us holding anything back.
I guess the child prophecy has something up an eye for talent after all. However much her other retainers suggest otherwise. Fine. You there. Make room in one of the cars for our guest. The servants can ride with the foreign mage. Treating those two as honored guests, at least until we reach the castle, will help us all move faster.
Yes, my lady. Right away.
We'll be taking the western road to Camelot and spend one night at Oxford along the way. We'll then take a detour around the pit towards Camelot. For the next 2 days, our fates shall be intertwined. We will not turn our swords on each other, regardless of what may happen. Do you agree to that, foreign mage?
Of course.
Good. Then let us be off. Soldiers, do not let your guard down simply because this is an escort mission. The Calamity's destruction has led to Moorish toxins spreading far and wide across Britain. Eliminate any Moors you come across immediately upon discovery. I don't want to hear even a peep of discomfort from our guest. Well, that's a relief. This carriage ride's just as smooth as retro bits. By the way, Sulfrost, are you really ready for this?
To meet the Queen, you mean? Me inside.
Well, yeah. What else? Oh man, you're not ruffled at all, are you? I bet you've already been through lots of meetings like this, huh?
It's not that, Artoria. Sulfrost is just as nervous as you are. He's just had enough experience with situations like this to understand the value of staying calm. Masters need to give orders to and watch out for their servants after all. So while Sopras might not be able to fight on the front line himself, he's very good at keeping cool under pressure.
Really? So, you met a lot of other kings then?
Yup, I sure have. So, you think I'd be used to this sort of thing by now? But nope, not even close. By the way, I heard something interesting about Tamlin Gawain back in Norwich. Apparently, she was the first fairy to be made a Tamlin during the era of the High Queen. About 2,200 years ago, during the year 1800 of the era of the High Queen, there was a huge outbreak of caterpillar moors in central Britain. That calamity later came to be known as the Caterpillar War, and it was Gawain who put a stop to it. So while it might not have been like the calamity we got rid of in Norwich, she still resolved a calamity just like Artoria did, and that's what led to the Queen recognizing her skill. Surprised? Overcome with newfound respect?
No, nothing but Gawain could do what surprise me or make me respect her. That said, I guess this means Morgan's not the only fairy to have to spell a calamity then. Guess this means I'm even less special than I thought. Oh man, now I'm even more nervous.
Oh crap, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you even more nervous. And hey, from what I heard, the Caterpillar War wasn't all that big of a calamity. I mean, the one at Norwich was a once-in-a-millennium great calamity, so it had to be smaller than that. Don't forget, we saved an entire city. You have every right to be proud about that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Mash and Sopras might have done most of the heavy lifting, but I definitely still contributed. When it comes to defeating Mars, I can hold my own against any Tamlin.
More smoke spotted nearby. Incoming from 3, 7, and 11 o'clock. Lightning soldiers, prepare your mystic codes. Guards, get into your formations.
Sopras!
On it, let's go help.
If you're out here, I assume you have no intention of sitting back and letting us do all the fighting. Very well, I would welcome your aid. There are a lot of Moors here, and I would prefer to avoid casualties. Follow me, Child Prophecy, or Mage. Make sure you stay close to me.
Shit, no Castoria allowed. So we'll go with this. Right. This and go back in line. I'm bringing this one, of course. I'm gonna get the bond. Value. One more. That's where I was spawning. Put this. Okay, maybe I'll go with this. I'm gonna switch to the jet here. Go in here. And
目に打ついい判断です。そういいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。
どうだったこういうのはツーマンの練習だな。他に
よ
は
く言いました。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながらトリガースを感じロードレスキャメラ。
Large more.
簡単に終わらない手に入らず全て見つめます。よろしい。
行くぞ
目を背けないで。
計略だ。
分断する。アコール。
Oh, damn it. So close.
Yeah, let me clean you up, Morgan. There you go.
いい判断です。死になさい。内側から終われ。アコール。無礼に諦めなさい。
Ah, shit, you kidding me? There's an.
最
Oh,
上に
wait.
近い勝利だけど
What?
戦う前に勝つくらい
There's about 8 enemies? Wait a minute. What the fuck? They did that on purpose? Huh? Consumed.
There are still 10 large Moors to contend with. No, more are still coming. We can't handle this many.
Those of you without iron weaponry, stand back. Do not engage. Just lure them to one spot so I can burn them all at once.
We're trying, but these Moors aren't falling for the decoy. It's almost like they're here for something else this time.
Something else. Could it be? They're after the child prophecy. You.
No need to thank me. We're all fighting the same battle here. Now, what you gonna do about this? Any seasoned general like you ought to know when it's time to retreat.
I hate to admit it, but he's right. I could either abandon the carts and have my soldiers retreat, or I could have the guests go on ahead. No, I am a Tamlin. Retreating from Morris is not an option. But they refuse to cluster in any one spot, so they're clearly being wary of my Galatine. They just destroyed the rearmost cart. What do we do, Happy Cat? Oh man, what's good having a Tamlin around if we still have to fight ourselves? She sucks at this. Why would you give massive amounts of literally unbridled firepower to someone who's already crap at holding back? Oh well, what's done is done. No use complaining about it now. I may not much like fighting, but walking all the way to Camelot would be worse. Come on, Garrett. Let's go take out the little Moors and leave the big ones to the Tamlin. Okay, I'll do my best. I've gotten more used to fighting Moors, so... Abby Cat? Are you seeing this blue streak of light? It's heading straight for us from Camelot. That's the same light I saw at Sheffield. Forget eliminating all of them. Retreat! Keep the carriage and the first cart and abandon the rest. Hurry! Lightning soldiers! Defend the guest! Royal guard! Retrieve the luggage from the other carts. I'll keep the Moors occupied until... What are you doing here, Lancelot? I didn't ask for your help! I don't think you need my help either. But the High Queen commanded me to come. Hostile detected. Eliminating. Stand back, Garin. Taking out individual targets is my area.
Okay. Right? Solo for that landslide. No party, just herself. Okay. There's no voice line. What the hell? Come on, man. You serious? No voice line. Let's do this. Ouch. Not cool. Alright, let me clean you up. Am I crazy? There's no, no voice line for her. Whoa, she just flew out. She just flew here, out of nowhere, and utterly destroyed them. All Moors have been destroyed. Brilliant work, Lady Lancelot. So this is what they mean when they call you the undefeated Dragon Fairy, the most beautiful timeline in all of Britain. I still can't believe you took out so many of those large Norse Moors so easily.
There. I eliminated the Moorish, just like the High Queen told me to. I'll let you handle the escort from here, Gawain.
What was she, some kind of VTOL aircraft?
Huh! As if you were even capable of handling an escort mission. Don't just stand there, you fools! Start fixing the wrecked cart! If this is the best you lot can do on the first day of this mission, I shudder to think of how you'll fare in the days ahead, and you can forget about resting in Oxford. I want a report from each and every one of you later on how this situation could have been prevented.
Yes, my lady. My deepest apologies, Lady Gawain.
Pathetic. I would have thought all of you together would be able to defeat at least one or two of the large Moors. I suppose this just goes to show how overly reliant you've become on us, Tamlin. It seems I'll need to start re-educating the fairy soldiers like I'm doing with the humans. Oh, my apologies. I appreciate your help. Sorry again. I never did ask your name, did I? I wasn't authorized to do so. But now that you have aided us in a dangerous predicament, that is no excuse. I am Gawain. What is your name, foreign mage?
I'm Silkfrost.
Well, Matt Silkfrost, I appreciate your obvious hostility towards me. You've got spirit. I like that, since we'll be enemies later. Alright, let's get this escort mission back on track. Oh, and I advised you to watch what you say in the carriage. I could easily overhear you, depending on which way the wind is blowing. Man, I thought we were going to be put up in a nice inn at Oxford. I can't believe we're camping out again. Alright, if we can't have a nice accommodations, at least we can still have nice food. I'm sorry we don't have enough to share with the royal guards, but I think we have the cakes the count gave us now. Oh, it looks like mine's called a cheesecake. What's your called, Artoria? Mine says Swiss roll. Oh wow, it's shaped like a log. This should make it much easier to eat. That's so thoughtful of the count. You proper human history people are all so considerate.
I guess you could say that. Sweet yam Yukon. How the hell did you manage to make this here? Some tea would go real nice with this. I think I'll go down to that river and fetch some water.
Oh, nom 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 nom. What was this called again? Chiffon cake? So this is what happiness itself tastes like. I had no idea they had so many kinds of sweets these days.
Oh yeah, it seems even Berry Britain has been developing a bunch of cake recipes. Back in Salisbury, I heard about Wood Rose's restaurant chain in the south, and Edinburgh's gourmet desserts in the north. But it sounds like cheesecake's the one kind that never caught on. I wonder why.
Really? But it's so yummy. It does make me a little thirsty though. It's because a big shot up north absolutely despises cheesecake. She always says cheese has no place in dessert, and that it has to be chocolate or nothing. Though of course, for fairies from the south, like me, chocolate is such a luxury. I don't even know what it tastes like. It costs so many more pounds that low-level fairies can basically never afford it.
What is this so fast? I'm gonna go make a little peace offering. Do you have a custom of eating sweets after a meal here?
I don't usually care for sweets. If I'm going to eat something cooked, I'd rather have meat. So no, I won't accept that. But I can see you have something to discuss. Go on then, have a seat. You want to talk to me about Lancelot, right? Very well then, ask me anything you wish to.
Actually, I wanted to ask about you.
I see. You're trying to figure out my true name. Pointless. But I can at least respect your willingness to try anything you can. Come to think of it, I still haven't properly thanked you for your help earlier today, have I? Come, sit. If you wish to talk, I can indulge you for a short while. I manifested in Britain 400 years ago. I was meant to be the next generation, the successor of an upper-class Fang Clan fairy in Norwich. Except that I didn't look anything like my predecessor. Even though I'm a Fang Clan fairy, I was born resembling a Wind Clan one. No, if anything, I'd look like a human. Some suspected I might be a changeling. Others said I was a curse from the battle against the Moors that took place 600 years ago. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. I don't know the truth, and I don't care either. I earned the honor of becoming a Tamlin when I ended the Caterpillar War. Up until that point, the title of Tamlin had been sealed away for all 1800 years of the High Queen's reign. In case you don't know, Tamlin title originally belonged to the retainers of Eask, who was said to be Britain's savior in the Fey era. The first Tamlin was called... I'm sorry, I actually can't remember their name. Anyway, they met their end in Orkney. After that, the Queen forbade the naming of more Tamlin. But she decided to revoke her own seal to exterminate the endlessly spawning caterpillars. Thus, I was gifted the name of Sir Gawain, which is said to be the name of a knight of the Round Table of a foreign land, and gained the means to strengthen my horn. My Galatine. I believe you call it a noble fantasism. But I'm confident it is every bit but the equal of Sir Gawain's original. I'm just as confident that I can't hold a candle to the real Sir Gawain, the Knight of the Round Table from proper human history.
That sounded pretty significant.
But never mind. I shouldn't be talking about the round table. I'm told it's creepy when I do so, for some reason. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Ah, I know. Let's talk about the war against the Moors. This war took place a millennium ago, along with one of the great calamities during the 1000th year of the era of the High Queen. It was a time when the Moors had a king and an army, and waged war against the High Queen and 5 of the 6 clans. Apparently, this king was something of an odd duck. He never attacked fairies or killed humans. All he cared for was fire and lightning. He would gleefully destroy anything, and then only for the joy of watching it burn. He reduced cities and forests to cinders, raised the ground before him, and summoned rain clouds just to hear the thunder. Some fairies called him the Storm King, at least until the High Queen forbade anyone from speaking that name. The war against the Moorish king lasted for decades, until finally the Fan clan brought it to an end. Woodrose, a fairy who had recently succeeded the previous head of the Fang clan at the time, was the one who dealt the final blow. And so, the Great Calamity, the king of the Moors who feasted on magical energy, was defeated before the Fang clan. However, it's said that, with his dying breath, the king cast a curse upon the Fang clan.
What kind of curse?
The fairy eating black dogs. It was only after the king of the Moors vanished that the black dogs began to roam Fairy Britain. However, they also eat Moors, though they're not just harmful. There are even some squads who train black dogs and use them in Moors hunts. Mine is one of them, in fact. Have you ever heard the epithet, the Black Dog Duchess? It refers to me. Even now that I've become a Tamlin, I'm still called a black dog. I don't blame them, though. After all, I eat everything, including fairies and humans.
Huh?
Oh, now you're scared of me? Thought you had no idea you were trying to get information out of a woman feared throughout Fairy Britain as a monster? Well, worry not. I would never eat you. I only consume the strong. I'm unusual for a fairy. What I eat makes me stronger. In fact, I can inherit any unusual powers or abilities the fairies I eat may possess, though with limits on capacity and compatibility. And right now, I'm still full of foul weather. The great Earth Clan fairy. I needed his sacrament for the Caterpillar War. It was crucial. But he had holed up in his fortress in Cornwall and refused to come out. So I challenged him to a duel, defeated him, and devoured him. Alright, I think that's enough time spent relaxing after dinner. Go back to your camp now.
Thanks for talking to me.
I'm used to talking with humans. In fact, my current husband is human.
Really?
Well, I say he's my husband, but he's neither a romantic partner nor a future meal. He's just a guest I'm putting up in my mansion while he recuperates. Still, you do remind me of him, in both your lack of fear and your innocent curiosity. Alright, back to your camp now. My soldiers and I will take turns keeping watch. Don't stay up too late. We'll be setting out early tomorrow morning.
Forgive us. Forgive us. No more prayers. Close your eyes. There's not much fun time left. The veil has fallen. Extinguish the light. Today is ending. Farewell. This day too will end forever. Forgive us. Forgive us. Forgive us our sins. It's too late to do anything now, but make sure everything is cleaned up. There it is again. whole west. Two days after leaving Norwich, day 30 in Berry, Britain. So that's Berry, Britain's Camelot.
I've never seen it from the other side of the pit before. It's definitely impressive, isn't it?
So that part we were seeing from Oxford must have only been the back of the castle. I thought it looked more like a wall than a castle, but now it looks more properly royal. It's got one urban area around the main gate, and another one inside the ramparts. I'm guessing that's to separate the general populace from the upper crust. Don't let the gate fool you. The side facing the pit is actually the castle's front.
Mary? So that big fancy gate is actually the back gate?
Oh no, that's the main gate. Sorry for confusing you, Gareth. There's no way into the castle from the pit. You've gotta go through the gate to get inside.
What about fairies who can fly? Couldn't they just zip inside?
Nah, ain't that simple. There's a magecraft area around the front of the castle, the side facing the pit. If you ever fall in there yourself, you'll see there's a ton of gun ports all along Camelot's walls. And you don't usually put canyons behind a castle, right? So we can be pretty sure the side facing the pit's the front. So that would mean...
Stop fast! Stop fast! Gawain's glaring at something up north. Whether it is, she's obviously upset about it. You're friends now, right? Go on. Ask her what it is.
Okay. He's being really insistent about this.
What is it, Silkbrash? Are you suddenly having second thoughts about entering Camelot? It's not that. The one who what's got me so upset. Can't you see for yourself that not Riaba's army up north? Not Riaba? Where? I don't see her anywhere. Ah, right. You're too short, aren't you? What a shame. Well, no matter. It's none of your concern anyway. Are you kidding? Of course it is! Come on, Silkbrash. Let me stand on your shoulders. Retrofit isn't here now, so you have to do.
Whoa there, hang on. Before you go to all that trouble, how about using one of my handy dandy gadgets first? Here, a spyglass. This will let you see at least as far as Gawain can. Now, take a look at those planes up north, and you'll see some really intense glares pointed this way.
Oh wow, I can see super far with this. Thanks, Da Vinci.
Try turning the dial on the side. It sets to 5 kilometers right now. But if you crank it to the 4th notch, you can set it to 20 kilometers. There, see them? There's a ton of fairies gathered in those plains. That must be the northern army of that other queen we've been hearing so much about. Not Riaba of the King clan.
That's her army? It's not just Fang and Earth Clan fairies. There are also lots of soldiers with masks. Are those giants? There are giants there. That's right. Not Riaba's rule bestows power and wealth upon any who swear fealty to her. It's the opposite of Gloucester and Miriam. However, that effect only works when Riaba herself is nearby.
I see. So if she wants her troops to be effective, she can't be far from them. Go on, Silkbrash. Try looking a little farther ahead. See that huge carriage? The one that kind of looks like a small fortress? There's a fairy standing on top of it looking down at us from up there. And even though this is your first time seeing her, I think you'll agree that there's no mistaking who this Northern Queen is. Let me see. Oh. It's her. Queen Med B.
Well, that's definitely a very Celtic bodysuit. Queen Medby, of course. Whoa, that's Medby, the Queen of Connacht I fought in America.
Medby? You mean there's a fairy just like her in your world too? Wait, why is she staring at you instead of me? Did you do something to upset her so much? 20 kilometers away or not, I can't believe she brought her troops all the way out here. Isn't this obviously a hostile act towards Queen Morgan? Not Riaba and her forces are still just within her territory. She claims she's only running military exercise in preparation for the Great Calamity. 10 days ago, she was conducting those exercises 40 kilometers away. Now that Sheffield has fallen, she's close to distant and come further down south.
She must have 20, no, 30,000 troops there. That's not just a threat, it's preparation for all-out war. How the hell does she keep them all fed? Oh, right. Fairies don't need to eat.
No, we don't. Unlike humans. That's one of Riaba's army's defining characteristics. She despises humans and won't even use them in combat against Moors. She envisions a Britain run by and for fairies alone, with her as its sole monarch.
A Britain just for fairies, with her as its sole monarch.
That said, she won't be sending her troops any further. She has no definitive reason to challenge the High Queen, nor much chance of success if she were to try. The Northern fairies have been incited to rebellion against the High Queen several times before. Each time, they find themselves retreating north with their tails tucked firmly between their legs. This time will be no different. Alright, that's enough idle chatter. Let's go. We're about to pass through the main gate. From now on, I suggest you remain sharper than ever. So this is Camulus Castle Town. It's even bigger than Salisbury and even fancier than Gloucester. You can tell only upper-class fairies live here. The mana in the air here is like nowhere else in all Britain. And that castle keep over there must be where they keep the existing taxes. The magical energy they extract from every fairy in Britain through command spells. I've heard stories about it, but this is way beyond what I was expecting. No wonder they're not worried about Riaba's army out there. It has to be way beneath their notice. Trying to take Morgan on now? Someone would have to be crazy to do it. I guess Bargard must have never set foot here before. If he had, he never had thought to rebel. Then again, maybe he knew what he was up against and decided to press on anyway. I thought I saw some writing on the gate when we went through it. Did anyone else see that? Or happen to catch what it said?
I did. It said, only those free of sin may pass in Old English. But I also noticed it had been painted over with red, like someone didn't agree.
This is as far as we go by carriage. The royal castle lies just ahead. Only the child prophecy and a foreign mage have been granted audience with the High Queen. The rest of you will stay here, where you will be treated as the attendant of our honored guest.
Oh, meaning what exactly?
You see the royal hotel across the way. We have arranged for you to relax there while you wait. I will make arrangements for you all to reconvene once the meeting is concluded. However, your name is Da Vinci, yes. You seem like an intelligent servant. As a human, the foreign mage will surely need an advisor. You may accompany him in that role.
Oh, good. I was planning on tagging along regardless, but this makes things much easier. We may be on opposing sides, but I appreciate your consideration, Tamlin Garwin. Okay, Gareth, Muramasa, Habitra, you heard the lady. You guys will have to stay here and wait for us. Don't worry, you've seen how well ordered the Queen's army is over these last 2 days. Morgan's obviously even more a stickler for rules than we thought.
The three of us won't be in any danger even if we face her alone. We'll be safer at least as long as we're in Camelot, regardless of how the meeting goes.
I'm not surprised. I did break into the castle my first time here. I didn't expect them to invite me in. Anyway, good luck in there, Artoria. Don't get so carried away. You end up saying something you regret, alright? You too, Sopras. Watch your partner's back. Understand?
I can't say I'm not worried, but strangely, I do agree that it feels like you'll be safe. Okay, well, I'll be waiting for you here. Be careful, Artoria, and good luck. I'm fine with this arrangement too. I'm not interested in Morgan anyway. I'm just here to keep an eye on things until Sopras and Mash are reunited.
Okay, let's do this thing.
I can't believe it took us almost an hour to get up the stairs to the throne room. So this is Camelot's castle keep, the queen's throne room.
Kneel, present, worship, submit. The Mysteries to the throne. Cease your breathing. 30 ambassadors, 100 officials. Close your mouths. You are in the presence of High Queen Morgan, the king who expands our boundaries, and upon whose shoulders all of Britain rests. Revel in her glory. Know this, child prophecy. Know this, foreign mage. This meeting is a sign of the High Queen's grace and amnesty.
Thank you. It is so very good of you all to come, even without a formal invitation. My ambassadors and officials are now commanded to be silent. Until this meeting ends, or I order otherwise, the only people permitted to speak are myself, my guest, and
me, Barrel Gut, the Queen's hubby. Sorry, Fancy Berries.
Barrelgut. So he really is here in Camelot. And did he say he's Morgan's husband?
Hey there, Sopras and friends. I haven't seen you all since Olympus. Why the look of surprise? Hey now, don't tell me Mash didn't tell you I'm Morgan's view. If you're here, then... Right? As a master yourself, of course that's where your mind goes, right, Sopras? Yup, it's true. I admit it. I'm Morgan's master. The partner of the High Queen who rules over the land of the Fae.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Sure it does, and it's true. I mean, yeah, she's so far out of my league, I have a hard time believing it myself. But facts are facts.
Artoria, I give you permission to approach. Raise your head. Okay. I see. It appears you truly are the child of prophecy. And you must be the foreign mage. The master of Chaldea, seeking so desperately to restore what you call proper human history.
Yes, I am.
Your efforts in Norwich, though commendable, were unnecessary. Still, you did well, eliminating a calamity. I will therefore reward you accordingly. Typically, I would compensate you in the currency of my realm. However, I understand the source of your magical energy is spatial magical energy occupying values you refer to as QP, which are derived by viewing magical elements as particles. Correct? I trust 100 million of these should suffice. Take them.
Ooh, thanks.
That much? And wait, does this mean you have a QP mint here? Of course not. I would simply create them myself by using your own Magecraft Systems methods. I have nothing more to say. If there is nothing else you wish to discuss, then our business is concluded. Artoya, Sopras, if either of you would ask questions of me, now is the time. But be warned, though you are my guest, careless words may cost you that status and the protection it affords.
Latoya's withering under her gaze. Not that I can blame her.
So, you will speak up first then. Very well. You are indeed brave. Tell me, conqueror of 5 Lostbelt, what is it you want?
Chaldea's goal is to resolve the bleached earth phenomenon.
Yes, I am aware of the situation in the outside world. Barrowgut has informed me.
But there's been another anomaly detected in this Lostbelt that we need to resolve first.
Oh, what sort of anomaly?
Using an ability similar to Einzel's ability prophecy, we observed a future depicting a cataclysmic collapse. We don't yet know what causes this collapse or how it will actually happen. But if it isn't stopped, it will spread across all of Britain and ultimately destroy the entire planet. That's why Chaldea came to Fairy Britain. We need to investigate collapse and prevent it from ever happening. Now that the Tree of Emptiness is gone, we have no quarrel with this Lostbelt. Our goal is to stop the world's collapse. That's all.
I see. So you say you have come here not to conquer our world, but to save it. Is that all?
We also want a divine construct we can use against the foreign god.
That's right. We're hoping to acquire the Sacred Land's Rongomeniad, the incredibly powerful spell you cast at Olympus. We would like you to provide us with either mystic code that lets us use that spell ourselves, or the magecraft theory we can use to recreate it.
Olympus? Foreign god? What in the world are those outsiders talking about? And how can they be so reckless, making a demand of the High Queen of all people?
Yes, I know the weapon you seek. I also believe you when you say you have come to save Britain. And so I will say this to you. You and your proper human history will come to a miserable end. This collapse you have observed will be the result of me expanding my territory. I shall be the one to put a true and final end to your history. I would never willingly surrender my divine construct to you, my mortal enemy. Sopras, arrogant child. To save your will, you will have to defeat me. What you call proper human history cannot be saved otherwise.
Is that your way of declaring war on us, Queen Morgan?
Proper human history and my realm can never coexist. If you wish to save your will, you will have to win it from me.
I really thought she might be willing to listen. Now we have to fight after all?
That goes for you too, Artoria, a cursed child of Einzel's prophecy. The year's end will bring a great calamity. It shall once again destroy every Briton buried in Britain. But fairies do not learn. Ever. No matter how many times they die, they will always be born anew. As long as my caste remains intact, Fairy Britain shall always be reborn, even should all Britain burn. Your Majesty, are you saying you'll only protect your kingdom, not your citizens? Yes, I offer fairies no salvation. I shall defend my land, nothing more. With all the magical energy I have stored in this throne, I have nothing to fear from the great calamity. Furthermore, only a chosen fairy can sit this throne. You are neither like other fairies nor that foreign mage. You have been chosen. You are neither a rebel nor an invader. You are the staff of selection's chosen wielder. By accepting my invitation, you have proven yourself the true child of prophecy. You and you alone have the right to bring me to justice, fairy sent from paradise. Even should you fill oceans with the blood you shed in battle against me, you would be innocent of sin. If you wish to save Britain, you must defeat me and claim the throne for yourself. Go then. Fulfill that absurd prophecy if you can. You should know better than anyone that you have no choice. Then it would seem our discussion has concluded. I am pleased we now understand each other.
I know, right? Who wants a nice, peaceful resolution where everyone goes home buddy-buddy with no bloodshed? So, on that note, you guys were stupid enough to come here with nothing more than faith in people's innate goodness and honor, and now your negotiations have completely broken down. You didn't really think you could leave here without a fight, right?
Of course not. So, Frost, I told ya, get behind me. I thought this might happen. Be silent. Even now, these are my honored guests. I will permit not so much as a hair on their heads to come to harm, nor I will allow even an insult to their pride until they had left Camelot.
You've gotta be shitting me!
Forget my husband's insolence, child. Daughter of Tintagel, so long as you remain Artoria, I shall not recognize you as my enemy. As long as the bells of pilgrimage remain unrung, my lords are forbidden from attacking any of you. However, if she does start ringing the bells and officially declares herself the child prophecy, then and only then shall I name her, along with Chaldea, my enemies, and marshal my army against you. I therefore advise you think very carefully before beginning a war you cannot possibly win. Now, stand down. I am certain there is nothing left to say. Or is there?
Where did you take Mash?
Nash? What is that? That's the name of our companion. The one you swallowed up with the spell you usually use to get rid of calamities? She's a demi-servant with the spirit origin of Galahad, the Shield Knight. Since you named your Tamlin after other knights of the Round Table, I'm sure you must know that name too. I see. That explains it. Yes, I hold your knight captive.
Where is she?
I see no reason I should tell you. She is my trumpy. But I can assure you she is alive and well. No one can harm her. Not even me.
At least we have a small lead on Mash now, but...
Yeah, it wasn't much of a discussion, was it? She basically just told us we're enemies and threatened to show us no mercy if we dare to defy her. Yep, can't say it was a very productive talk. We now know that Morgan definitely sees proper human history as her enemy. And we now know that Mash is safe, but being kept in captivity somewhere. But that's just confirmation of some things we already at least suspected. I didn't see anything that could give us any kind of clue as to how we could possibly beat her in a fight.
we didn't learn anything useful about the divine construct either.
Actually, we did make just a bit of progress there. Remember that atrium in the throne room? The one overlooking the pit? Well, I noticed a distant magical energy pattern nearby. It was very similar to the Lion King's in the sixth singularity. That confirms for me that Morgan has Rongomeniad on hand in weaponized form. And not just one or two of them either. She must have at least 10 in place around Camelot's main gate. And with that many of them on hand, she must have already used them here several times before. So we can assume the one she threw at Olympus must have been just one of several she had at the ready. It would have been great if she'd be willing to sell us just one of them, but it's pretty clear that's not an option. So now, the only way for us to complete our initial objective of acquiring that divine construct for ourselves is to defeat Morgan.
We definitely have our work cut out for us, don't we?
No, at least we made it out of there safe and sound. So we also know that Queen Morgan is true to her word.
True. Both Morgan herself and all of Camula might be so stuffed with magical energy it's downright chilling. But she was also adamant about upholding the laws she set as queen. She even listened to Beryl when he tried to break them. I know, so fast. That only makes it all the more mysterious. Beryl said he was Morgan's master. If that's true, it would make her a servant. But it can't be true, because she's been ruling Fairy Britain for the last 2,000 years. Beryl couldn't have come to this Lostbelt any sooner than the end of 2019, just like all the other cryptors. Obviously, Morgan would have already been the queen of this land by then, so he couldn't possibly have summoned her as a servant. So the question is he lying about that? Or is he being made to believe it? Either way, we need a lot more information before we can draw any conclusions.
Oh, hey! They're back! Guys, over here! Welcome back, Artoria. So fast. So, how did audience go? What's Queen Morgan really like? Was she terrifying? Was she strong? Was she really 10 meters tall? I mean, anyone who takes Tristan in as a daughter must eat nothing but other fairies, right? Well, she definitely seemed like a queen. Cut that out, Gareth. Can't you see the child of prophecy doing her best not to spoil your fun? The truth is, the queen was completely ordinary. Right, Artoria? Isn't that what you want to say? Huh? I can tell. I'm an expert at reading fair maidens' minds, after all. Don't worry, Artoria. It's okay to be yourself.
I don't know much about how maidens think, but being yourself is good advice. Deep down, you're a stubborn shrew with a fierce competitive streak, right? If anything, you were probably thinking something like, the queen? I could take her any day of the week. Give me 1,000 years, and I'd probably be way stronger than her.
I wasn't thinking anything of the sort. And couldn't you at least make 100 years? Yes, we won't be getting a cushy carriage escort back to Norwich. Especially after they basically kicked us out of town.
I wasn't expecting the way back to be easy, but now that it's time to go, it's looking harder than ever. If they'd just given us at least one carriage, we could have had a nice, comfortable ride back to...
Oh, hello! Fancy running into all of you here. I was out taking our new carriage for a test drive, and I just happened to find myself in Camelot. Seems like fate to me. Go on, get in. Don't be shy. Oberon, you sly dog. Yep, I figured you'd be finishing up around now. I take it your audience with the queen's all done now. I'd love to hear all about it. But first, we should probably get going before our presence here gives the Queen's army any ideas. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to see you haven't been tempted by any other carriages. Say hello to our new and improved carriage. It's now got 6 passenger seats and 2 sleeping berths. With this bad boy, I can promise you all a more comfortable journey around Britain than ever before. You'll see. They don't call me Red Rock Homestretch Bit for nothing.
That's great to hear about the carriage. But why are you clammed up too?
Once I told the fairies of Norwich I was one of the Child of Prophecy's attendants. They were delighted to absolutely pamper me. The Earth Clan fairies whipped this armor up for me during the celebration.
I see. Well, that's nice. I just hope you're ready to pay for it yourself.
By proceeding through this quest, 100 million QP quantum pieces will be gifted to you by the High Queen. Any QP that exceeds the maximum limit cannot be received. Is that okay? Yes, of course. Fuck yeah. I need more of that QP, man. And that's how our audience with Morgan ended. Well, she certainly didn't mince words, did she?
Morgan is eager for this fight. I'd hoped there might be some way to broker peace if Chaldea and the child prophecy met with her together. But
she obviously never had any intention of giving up her throne to the child prophecy, the true king.
And that's not all. Morgan doesn't even plan on saving Britain. She says she was going to expand her territory and destroy the outside world. Right? I was already pretty sure that was her plan, but I didn't know how she planned on pulling it off. But after hearing about your meeting, I think I've got it. She's going to use the Great Calamity herself. How so? Remember the water mirror spell she used at Norwich? That's what she's always used to get rid of calamities before. Isn't that right, Habitrot?
Yep, she doesn't usually break it out at that massive a scale, but that teleportation spell is one of her go-tos.
So, even if Soapbox and Mash hadn't gone to such extraordinary lengths, she would have still made the calamity disappear. Or rather, she would have made it her own. I think Morgan's been trying to acquire the calamities for herself. And if she is, that must mean she's able to harness their magical energy and use it as her own. That's the magical energy she's going to use to override Soapbox will. Excuse me. Proper human history and make it her territory. She's going to take the cursed meant to destroy the world of fairies and use it to destroy the world of humans. That's her plan. She's not out to stop the great calamity. She wants it to happen.
So, instead of getting rid of the great calamity, she's going to use it as a weapon? Even though she has more than enough power to banish it, like she did in Norwich? But that would mean only the fairies inside Camelot would survive.
Now that you mention it, those upper class fairies in Camelot all look down on the other cities. I even heard them say stuff like, the only fairies worth anything are those from Camelot with a straight face. They completely bought the whole privileged class nonsense the queen fed them. I'm sure they just think of the child prophecy as an irritant. I know the queen said she wouldn't consider us her enemy until we ring one of the bells of pilgrimage. But she's also married to Belle, right? It's a good thing Oberon showed up with the carriage when he did, because there's no telling when he might have sent troops after us.
You said it. First thing first, we should put some distance between us and Camelot. We can figure out our next course of action after all. If nothing else, we know exactly what we have to do now. If we're going to save Britain, I will, and Mash. We're going to have to defeat Morgan.
Several hours after the meeting at the emptied throne room.
Still no sign of movement from the pit. That is concerning. That aside, a great calamity that comes every 1,000 years. The sheer idiocy of these fairies never ceases to amaze. At least it is useful. I will use whatever I must to erase proper human history forever. You again. You know that merely observing will resolve nothing. You are truly the foreign god's priestess. You should at least try to kill me. Though, of course, that assassination attempt by the disciple of the foreign god did not go so well for him. No servant comprised of a heroic spirit from proper human history can hope to match my talent. If you will do nothing but stand there and watch, then do not show yourself. I tire of looking at you. If there is something you wish to say to me, then speak as he did.
Sorry to interrupt your chat. I have knocked, but there's no door here.
Of course not. Why would I welcome guests merely because they come knocking? Have a waiting room, though, had you care to use it.
You mean a ghost ward down below? It is majestic, but unnecessary. I don't have time to wait. I'm neither omnipotent nor a talented mage like yourself. I'm just an ordinary man, capable of nothing but ordinary work. Truthfully, I should be avoiding places like this where I have no business in the first place.
Your actions defy comprehension. You are clearly from Chaldea. You are on the side of proper human. While the foreign guide means to wipe the slate of human history, it could end up destroying it before she gets a chance. Is that not why you are here? Stop me.
No. If you can really destroy it, go ahead.
What?
True. If left to your own devices, I'm sure you will indeed destroy this planet and erase humanity. And that is preferable to the foreign guide achieving her goal. Your goal is to wipe out proper human history so you can expand the land of the Fae and rule as its queen. I can't approve of your goal or your approach to pursuing it, but I do respect what you accomplished. So I will neither try to interfere with your plans, nor lend Chaldea my aid. You should succeed in rendering this planet a lifeless husk. I have no objection.
If you are not here to interfere, then why have you come? You claimed you had no time to waste, did you not?
I came to see what you created here. It deserves at least that much. You saw the Tree of Emptiness for what it really was, and instead of viewing it, you used it yourself. You grasped Chaldea's summoning system instantly and made it your own. Those are truly exceptional accomplishments. There are scant few who have even approached your level of godlike genius. Now, do you understand, High Queen Morgan? I came here to praise you. I cannot imagine there is anyone else worthy or able to give you the accolades you deserve.
Your estimation of my magecraft skills means nothing to me. If anything, it sounds snide. Now, if that is all you have to say, then leave. This world is soon to be mine. There will be no place in it for either the foreign guide or a beast.
I know. This was the last chance to intervene anyway. Even if I did try to get in your way now, it wouldn't change anything. If my aim were to stop what is happening here, I have come 2,000 years too late. Your history is perfect. Your script is complete. While you did make a mistake with Tristan, your victory is still close at hand. As one who has stood in this very position, I wanted to applaud you in the path you've taken. In my estimation, neither the Child Prophecy nor the Master of Chaldea have any hope of defeating you. Though, of course, for a third player who has yet to show themselves to intervene, that could change things considerably.
Selenium Section 11, alright. Northern Plains, okay.
Screw you, NPC. Friend support, the best.
So, now that we put some distance between us and Camelot to avoid any possible trouble with royal soldiers who just didn't know about the Queen's orders not to harm us, we move along the northern border and come across a chocolate field that's truly a sight to behold.
Whoa, there's chocolate growing straight out of the ground.
Candy! No way! How the hell does this work? I have to take a closer look. What are you two doing? That field doesn't belong to you. You should be ashamed of yourself, trampling someone else's field with your dirty shoes. If you're gonna go around tasting this stuff, you need to do so from one of the edges.
Whoa! A whole field of the deluxe and premium chocolate bars Lady Aurora once gave me a tiny piece of. This can't compare to a carrot, but it may well be the sweetest thing I've ever tasted. Cannonball! Now don't you start too, you idiot! It's so good. It's so sweet. Did you say chocolate? It's a little messy, but it's still just so yummy.
I'm glad to see you all enjoying yourselves. How can you be so relaxed about this, Oberon? We still need to keep an eye out for any signs of pursuit. What is it, Gareth? Aren't you gonna jump in there with them?
Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh! Everyone, please settle down! You can't eat that chocolate!
Huh? Too much chocolate in their mouth to speak coherently.
Oh no! I knew it! These are not Ryabas chocolate fields. I've heard about them. They're made with paralysis, ancient, charm, and calories out the wazoo. Any fairy who tastes this chocolate becomes a hopeless chocoholic. and they then have to do whatever Ryabas says for the rest of their lives.
According to Gareth's own research. Huh? No idea what Gareth is talking about. Crap. Kashui wipes. Crap. Kashui wipes mouth with fingers. Did those moths just pop up? Did those moths just pop up out of the field?
They must have been lying in wait to ensnare. They must have been lying in wait to ensnare any fairies that succumb to chocolate paralysis. First, fairies eat the chocolate, then the moths eat the fairies. What a perfectly devious predatory tactic. And I'm afraid none of the others will be of any help. Now that their veins are full of chocolate poison. Come on, Muramasa. This one's all up to us.
Got it. Good luck, Gareth.
Muramasa? Why did you just take a step back? And what's that you're holding behind you?
Sorry, it was right there in arm's reach, so I just couldn't help myself.
Somewhat how did you turn out to be?
Was this chocolate?
宝具もちろんいい判断です。そういいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。白兵戦行きます。自分のうちに準備。
Oh, they are chocolate.
自分のうちに目いい判断です。もちろん。慈悲神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望もな何人も通るにあたわず。さてどこから式はこうしてあげる。はい食べなさい。もちろんよく言いました。ここでまっすぐ死になさい。白兵戦行きます。悩ませない。目をいい判断です。ここでまっすぐ逃がすものか。
Damn it.
内側から終わる。 望まれることを望まれたように。それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に呼ばれるまでもなくあなたは星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドカリバーン。逃がすものか召し上げましょう。 目を背けないで。そういいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。今回はうまくいきました。
Huh? Does this mean none of you are paralyzed? Paralyzed?
Okay.
Huh? Does this mean none of you are paralyzed? Sorry, Garrett, but no. We're totally fine. I don't think this chocolate is poison at all.
That's right. Incidentally, when people refer to chocoholics, they're talking about people who just really love chocolate, or who'll go all the way north just to have some. I'm pretty sure it's not actually a medical condition.
Oh, wow, you're right. This is really good. It's sweet and crunchy. It needs to eat. And it doesn't even make me thirsty. I feel so much more alive now, too.
Still, it is a rare luxury good, and these fields really do belong to Nogna Riaba. So if you keep sampling the chocolate without permission, well, see for yourselves. Ah, crap. There's a huge army headed this way. But, hang on. The hell are they wearing?
Damn, they've got us surrounded. Numbers. This honeybee like magical energy pressure. It's...
That's far enough.
That's far enough, you shameless tourist.
You've got a lot of nerve.
Eating your fill of my chocolate. Or is that your way of applying to be my slaves down to my great-great-grand successor?
That voice. Maybe.
That's right. Now, throw yourself at my feet and beg forgiveness. I don't care what backwater town you fairies hail from. One look at this beauty should tell you all you need to know about who you're dealing with. Now, on that note, I, Queen Nogna Riaba, has judgment on these foul chocolate thieves. That's one count of stealing of government property. One count of smuggling valuable cultural property. One count of dining and dashing. And one count of lese majesté. For these 4 crimes, I sentence you all to spend the next 100 years packaging chocolate for retail. After which, you live out the rest of your days in Edinburgh while receiving a comfortable pension to match contributions of your labor. I knew it.
It's Queen Medbee.
What? I first met her in Colchester about 5 years ago. She was like a storm in a bottle, and she was the first fairy I got to know outside my village.
Hold on, I received a text message.
She was like a storm in a bottle, and she was the first fairy I got to know outside my village. Hey.
Oh my god, stop texting.
Hey, not that it's any surprise. For a fur-born ruler, there's nothing better than kicking all your would-be rivals to the ground. The first princess pageant in 100 years, and I'm the clear winner. Now, go out there and tell everyone in Britain that Nogna Riaba is the new queen of the Northern Fairies. Man, I didn't even make it past the preliminaries, let alone get a chance to go on stage. But that's okay. I'm only here because everyone in the village insisted I come anyway. Plus, I can't think of anything more idiotic than a princess pageant. Besides, all I really wanted was to see what things were like outside the village for once. I feel like an idiot. What am I even doing out here? I should be back home helping with the harvest. But no, I just had to come here to help my political campaign and to show everyone that mad successor means business. I swear, when are the elders going to stop treating me like a greenhorn anyway? Not to mention the judge's criteria for beauty is just laughable. Don't they know real beauty comes from a living life? Go sure they know real beauty comes from living a life you can be proud of, not what other people think of your looks. Contestants like us are the ones who decide what's beautiful, not the peanut gallery. Oh, hello. Aren't you the girl from Tintajo I saw in the prelims? No. I think you have the wrong fairy. I'm just here waiting tables part-time, so... Why did you come to the main event? I thought it was going to come down to you and me. I would have enjoyed beating a worthy opponent rather than demolishing the competition. But you were nowhere to be seen. What, did you leave early because the whole thing was so stupid? Stupid? Well, I guess I did feel pretty stupid. Why, you think I don't get what's going on here? I can tell you're thinking, look at the simple little girl who's jumping for joy over a stupid trophy. She had no idea I lost the battle, but won the war. Well, I don't like it. I won't stand for it. You and I are going to compete again, right now. What's your best subject? Horseback riding? Dancing? Music? Combat? Chess? Whatever it is, that's going to be our real final battle, and we're not going to stop until I'm good and satisfied. Oh, but we need to do something about horribly tacky outfit first. Mac, Dim, tear this girl's clothes up for me, will you? I'll let you wear one of my dresses instead. After that, we're going back on stage. Together, you and I are going to show those idiots in the crowd what it really means to shine like a beautiful princess. Huh? Wait, what do you... Hey, knock it off, you pink hair, honey brain, no out, Richie girl, before I knock your block off. I'm sorry, I had no idea you actually been eliminated in the preliminaries. I mean, my instinct had never been wrong before, you know? And the moment I saw you, I felt sparks all up and down my spine. Sparks! I thought there was something different about this fairy. I seriously got the impression you could turn out well on its head. Huh? Really? Is that how I actually seem to you? Not Riaba? I guess it's true what they say about great talents blooming late. Believe it or not, I'm actually the child of... But I was wrong. You're so unimpressive that I must have looped from zero right back around to hero. Oh, is that so? Does that mean you better quit bragging about your instinct from now on, huh? You're right. From now on, I'll make sure to observe fairies carefully and not just rely on my intuition. Anyway, what's your village like, Arturia? You said it's on the western tip of southern Britain. My city's up on the northern tip, so I can't even imagine how different it must be. Get ash rain down. What color's the forest? Can you fish there? Are there any cute fairies you got your eye on? Oh, and what was that exploding lamp you threw at me earlier?
The Northern Fairy kept peppering me with questions, and she seemed genuinely interested in the answer. It's one of my nicer memories from back when we still didn't know each other well. Her name was Nog Na Riaba. Since I am the child prophecy, she and I are destined to butt heads one day, but she was also my very first friend. Ooh.
So yeah, I spent 2, maybe 3 days in Colchester with her a few years ago. But as you can see, she never listened to anything anyone has to say, so she didn't make a great impression. That goes for you too, Arturia! You look meek enough, but you always talk way tougher than you look. Good to see you haven't changed.
Well, this is a surprise. I had no idea Arturia had a friend she was on arguing terms with. And not Riaba. Of all fairies, I can't even imagine getting into a scuffle with her, can you? Definitely not. I'm all tongue-tied just from seeing her. Not Riaba, member of the King clan and Queen of the North. The magical energy covers this entire camp even as we speak. She's one of the most notable fairies in all of Britain. Her combat abilities may not compare to the Tamlin, but when it comes to otherworldly common sense and the sheer size of her fey domain, I don't think there's anyone in Fairy Britain who can match her.
Really? Is she that impressive?
But look, Artoria's not backing down. No matter how snide not Ryaba gets with her, she gives twice as good as she gets.
Yup, those two are a perfect match for each other. Artoya looks meek, but is actually a huge pain in the neck. And Ryaba makes a loud first impression. But she's actually very earnest. They're like two halves of a puzzle box. They may constantly be at odds, but in the end, they fit together perfectly.
Quiet, you! When did I say anything any of you could talk? You do know you're all still under arrest for chocolate larceny, right?
Don't worry, I'm happy to pay you back for it. I'm feeling pretty flush right now, so...
Hey, Artoya, come here for a second. What is it? You're not usually one for secrets. You want me to keep quiet about all the mischief you got up into doing Colchester or something? Of course not. Besides, I didn't get into any mischief. No, I wanted to ask you about that guy who just talked back to me. Is he human? Is he your attendant? Did your dream finally come true? Oh no, he's my ally. He's a mage who came here from the outside world. We're pretending he's my attendant to make things easier. But if anything, he's the one who's been helping me out. I see. So he's just a bodyguard, huh? What's his name? I can't tell since he's not wearing a collar or anything. Come on, tell me. Please. Please? Are you really not Ryaba? Did you eat something you shouldn't have? Maybe too much chocolate? Come on, Ryaba. Don't let her get to you. Oh no, I've just been feeling much kinder and gentler lately. So, what's his name? How long have you known him? Well, his name's Sophos, and I've known him for about 20 days now. I see. So you're still more than friends, less than lovers. I thought it wouldn't matter if you were dating, of course. Huh? But I digress. All that aside.
My cruise?
Some child of prophecy turned out to be Artoria. What even is this ragtag band? Are you trying, at all? I can't believe you still don't have even a single squad to your name. I guess you're still the one fairy my intuition just doesn't work on. When I heard that the child of prophecy who saved Norwich was named Artoria, I thought you'd finally gotten your act together. But it looked like I was wrong about you again. You're as pathetic now as you were back then. I guess a bunch of third-rate losers are the best a pathetic low-class fairy like yourself can attract. Take that back, knock, Ryaba. Don't you dare make fun of my friends. They're all much more accomplished, wiser, braver, cuter, and grandpa-ish than I am. And if nothing else, they're way stronger than those soldiers you got waiting on you. Is that so? Alright then. Prove it. I'll see for myself who's stronger, your allies or my soldiers. If you guys win, I'll pardon you for your chocolate theft and you'll all be free to go. But... But what? If my soldiers win, I'm taking Sophos for myself. Huh? Are you serious, Ryaba? Don't tell me Sophos your type. It's not like that. I was going to need a mage for my war with Morgan anyway. Now, less talking, more fighting, Artoria. Let's see which one of us is better suited to be Britain's savior.
Oh? Ah, man, that sucks. Okay, well, going for this one. Back in line, red hair, since you got no noble phantasm on you. Back in line. Back in line. So just one. I can have my own. The rest has to be forced. Shit.
我が進化よ玉座の支度はできていますか？
Ah, fuck, I've got.
暗き湖よ、いい判断で
Oh,
す。
wait.
黄金律にも種類があるのさ。
宝具、目を背けないで。
オッケー。
慈悲だ、神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望もな何人も通るにあたわず。分断す
いくよ。
Hey! Get the fuck out of here, stupid. Don't you dare to hurt my Morgan.
スピンドルセットと。
る。よく言いました。いい判断です。
いいよ。
死になさい。召し上げましょう。
多すぎてもね。やべ。発進準備完了だ。
I should probably save it. Yeah, okay.
私の方。ふむふむ。
よく言いました。
駆け抜けるは前人未到。未完の馬よ、輝ける轍を残せ。ああ、人生はとても楽しいビューティフルジャーニー。せーの。
死になさい。
Okay. Oh.
式はこうしてあげ全て見つめます。よろしい？宝具を
いいと
展
も。
開しましょう。
任せて。
それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながらトリバースを感じロードレスキャメラ。
多すぎてもね。いくよ。やべ。
Fuck out of here, Morse. Northern Fairy General B. Okay.
ああ、とても楽しかったとも。にゃーにゃーにゃー。発進準備完了だ。
いい判断です。
早く早く。急げや急げ。明日が納期だ。ブライダルスピンホイール。駆け抜けるは前人未到。未完の馬よ、輝ける轍を残せ。ああ、人生はとても楽しいビューティフルジャーニー。
モルゴース。
Hey, back off. Please. Swear to God, man.
ここはもうちょっと念入りに。
さてどこから潰したものか。よく言いました。いい判断です。
ふむふむ。
目を背けないで。死になさい。
せーの。
死になさい。
Oh no.
宝具をいい判よく言いました。慈悲だ、神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望もな何人も通るにあたわず。逃がすものか許すものか。光栄の本気です。
やべ。どう？これが最新の戦いさ。羨ましい。
Okay. So, okay, never mind. We won, and now we're safe.
Well, that's okay. My predecessor said there'd be at least 3 chances. If love were easy to find, it wouldn't be so precious. There, you see? The Bosses' team won. I told you they were amazing. Now, let us go free. Queens are supposed to keep their promises, right? Of course. Believe me, I don't have time to be messing around with you either. I was in the middle of running military exercises when you decided to steal my chocolate. Also, my enemy is Queen Morgan, not the child prophecy. I have nothing to say to a low-class fairy who still hasn't made a name for herself. Go wherever you like for all I care.
Oh, does this mean the King Clan doesn't see the Child of Prophecy as competition? I think it would be to your advantage to capture us rather than let us go free.
Of course, I see you as a competition. I'm the only king fit to rule Britain. As far as I'm concerned, both Morgan and the Child of Prophecy are obstacles to my rule. That said, I can't take Morgan's army lightly. If I'm going to win, I need to make use of everything I can. Either Morgan will jump at my provocation and leave her castle to face me, or I'll attack her castle myself once all my preparations are complete. Either way, I'll need to keep the other clans in check in the meantime, which is why I want the Child Prophecy to stirring things up. Get it? The more you scurry around making trouble, the more Morgan will have to divert voices from me to focus on you. I don't really expect you to ring all the bells of pilgrimage, but could you manage maybe 2 of them? If you can manage that, I'll take care of the rest. I'll take control of Camelot, send Morgan packing, and banish every human from this island. As a descendant of the Northern Fairies and a daughter of the Great Mab, I'll be the one to restore Britain to the way it was always meant to be. Though, I'm also very generous, so I'm willing to make a few exceptions. If the humans are willing to change their ways, I could set up an autonomous zone for them to live in. As proof, I grant you permission to speak freely, Subfrost. Is there anything you want to ask me? Go ahead. Just this once. I'll give you an honest answer.
Okay, in that case, I wanted to say that. What if you teamed up with the Round Table Army to take down Morgan?
No chance. I may be willing to tolerate humans, but team up with them? Absolutely not. As far as I'm concerned, the human Round Table Army is even more of a disgrace than Morgan's soldiers. If they ever dare show themselves before me, I'd mow them down. I'd mow them down without a second thought.
Excuse me, Lady Knock-Knock-Yabba, but we received a request from Edinburgh.
What is it? Map chances like this don't come along every day, you know? If this is about military exercises, it can wait until...
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is about Morris disease, if I may. Not enough transcription subjects. Number of Sheffield refugees.
Tell them we'll make a list right away. I'll make the selections myself. Looks like our little chat is over. You guys are free. Go wherever you like. Oh, but I want to just say one last thing. Try to conduct yourself with at least some dignity, Artoria. Not by your follower king who can't even look the part.
"私の力が必要ならば全力で応答します."
よく言いました。 そういいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。
早炊きですよ。早炊きですよ。カルウェイ初回。やだね。
いい
もちろん
判断です。そういいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。式をこうしてあげる。あまり悩ませるに入らないの。
運命をかけた戦いであるですか。誇りにかけて
目を背けないで。
輝きを。
分断する魔女ですので。
Ah, come on.
よく言いました。死になさい。やっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんて。いつの世も反乱分子は物足りませんね。
Alright, 1 second.
Well, a little trip southbound through the chocolate fields brought us back to southern Britain. Gloucester not too far from here. How about stopping by? You've never been to Gloucester before, right, Happy Cat? No, but it's Million City, right? I have a pretty clear idea of what it'd be like. It could be fun, but I also doubt it's got any cute brides for me, so I'm good with whatever Sobras decides. I see. That's too bad.
For the time being, we should find somewhere safe.
I agree. The best thing we can do now is lay low and plan our next move. If we're going to decide on something as important as whether we fight the Queen or run from her, we'll need someplace safe to consider our plan.
So Chester's definitely out. I don't know about Miriam, but I wouldn't trust Konyanskaya as far as I could throw her.
What about the Welsh Forest? That's Ogren's territory after all.
Salisbury could be another good option. How about it? We could tell Lady Aurora everything that's happened so far.
So many choices. Any thoughts, Oberon?
Good question.
Well, I definitely wouldn't recommend my forest. It'd make for lousy secret headquarters. And I don't think Salisbury or Norwich are safe either. We shouldn't put too much credence in the Queen's promise to leave us alone. If Beryl were to lead Morgoth's army against us, Aurora wouldn't be able to stop him.
Looks like Riaba was right. We need our own military strength. Maybe we should go back to the Storm Border. Besides, it'd be fun to show it off to Artoria and Gareth. We don't have time to go through the nameless words either. We can take a detour around it to reach the coast. Plus, we could also stop by Artoria's hometown, Tintagel, on the way.
No, let's save that for the last resort. We're not running for our lives yet, after all. If it's military strength we need, we've got exactly one option. In fact, I'd say the safest place for the child prophecy right now isn't a fairy city at all. It's the city southeast of Oxford. We need to go to England's capital in proper human history. The ruins of Londinium, where humans have set up their home base. Now that Artoria's gotten rid of Norwich's calamity, there's no reason for us to hesitate to knock on their door. I think it's time Britain's esteemed savior paid the Round Table army a visit. Right? Good job, everyone. I know it wasn't easy coming so far without stopping to sleep, but we're almost to Londinium now. Only 2 more hills to go. But first, why don't we take a quick break? Besides, it's almost lunchtime. I'm sure you'd rather have a relaxing meal outside instead of rocking back and forth in a carriage too. Right, so Frost? Yeah, I would, thanks. Honestly, this has been a little rough. Don't worry about it. I could use a good stretch too. It's great that 6 of us can fit in the carriage now, but it's definitely a little cramped. So we're finally visiting Londinium. I wonder what the stories say about it. Well, up until 2,000 years ago, when it was still the Fey era, it was the largest city in all of Britain. It said that 5 fairy clans coexisted there peacefully, and that they even chose a human for their lord.
Really? Then, does that mean Londinium used to be a human city?
It sure does. Well, it was destroyed during the insurrection that took place at the end of the Fey era. It may have been the most heavily fortified city in Britain at the time, but I guess there wasn't much it could do against an attack from within. I still haven't found out how it ended up in ruins after that, though. After all, the Queen decided to build a new castle, Camelot, instead of rebuilding Londinium.
Huh. Guess you don't know everything about everything after all, Oberon. It was the fairy clans that reduced Londinium to rubble. After Ask ended the war between the various clans, she appointed a human knight as their new king. The human boy who was leading a round table army at the time. A huge festival was held to celebrate the new king and his coming reign. But then, during his coronation, a group of anti-fairy humans started a riot, and a number of the fairies living in Londinium were killed. The clan heads were incensed, so they raided Londinium and put every soldier in the round table army to death. The knight who was supposed to be king fell in battle, and Ask was executed after the clan heads held her responsible for the riot. Grimmer the sage managed to give them the slip, and since no one could kill the Black Knight, they crushed his ears and threw him into the sea. By that point, the Tamlin had gotten fed up with the whole ridiculous ordeal and decided to go over to Orkney, taking Ask's coffin with them.
Ask. That's the fairy who was once treated as Britain's savior, right? From what I heard, her, the sage, the Black Knight, and the Tamlin all saved Britain countless times. So what was the Tamlin's name?
Oh, Mike told me that back in Salisbury. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it was... Huh? That's weird. I know I've heard it before, but I can't remember what it was. Don't worry about it. My point is, Londinium has a lot of history as a home base of Britain's humans.
So, this new round table army is holed up where the old one got wiped out? I ain't a superstitious type, but don't you think that's just asking for trouble?
You'll see why it's not a problem once we get to Londinium, Massa. Frankly, if you ask me, both Morgan and the clan heads ought to have their heads examined, alright? I don't know why else they abandoned Londinium, even after they destroyed it. I'm surprised you know so much about Londinium, Happy Cat. I mean, you don't know anything about Colchester or Salisbury. I know about Salisbury. That's the city with the big cathedral, right? I've seen Aurora before too. I just didn't pay her much attention. She's not my type. I see. So, are you sure you're okay missing out on all the beautiful cities? Sure, I'm sure. This isn't exactly a sightseeing tour. Kinda curious why you're so considerate of me, though. Fishing for a discount on your wedding dress or something? Huh? No! I'm not looking for a dress. I haven't even found a partner yet. I mean, it's not that. It's just... Just what? It's nothing. I'm going to get fetch some water. Be right back. That was close. I almost said something I shouldn't again. Anyway, I'm kind of worried about Happy Cow. I can see Artoria and Silkfrost's futures just fine, but I can't see anything from hers. Morse? Crap! I have to kill it before it touches me! Yeah! Huh? That's weird. My last house always worked before. Oh, right. That's only because Artoria was helping me out with her magecraft. But now that's just me. This is so like me. I always get carried away like this, even though I'm weak. So now I'm going to die out here, unable to fight back, never having accomplished anything.
You were so close. If you just taken 3, no, 6 steps back and gotten a running start, you could have definitely taken it out. You're not the biggest fairy out there, so you need more than just a weight of a thrust to get through the more skins. Make sure to put your bracing off faces forward instead of to the side, and try to let gravity do the hard work for you. But I guess that will be something to work on next time, which is all the more reason to stand back now.
Okay. May I ask who you...
Me? I came out here to fetch some water and saw you going into the forest. I was going to warn you to be careful, since we tend to get Morse out here. But I guess I was a little too late. Luckily, there are only 2 of them. Do you think you can help me? I'd really appreciate it.
Yes, of course. I'm Gareth, by the way.
I'm Percival. Would you mind taking the Morse on the right then, brave knight?
Wait, did he say Percival? What?
やるぞ結構器用なので
逆行よ導きよ
狙うぞ狙う突進ですいけーこれでどうなり私だってこれくらい
防御陣形いいですともお任せくださいいいですとも先行
Okay. Fuck. Okay.
結構頑丈なのでアフタービジョンワンリミッツ狙うぞ狙うぞ参りますルクス突進ですこれでどうなり私だってこれくらい
お任せいいですとも
そっち
はい
まっすぐに
Is she really gonna die? Close enough.
いいおまはいレッツファイ先行クッドリー
That was close. Yeah. Almost to the leveling up.
I won! I can't believe it. I actually beat a Morse on my own.
That was great. Don't sell yourself short. You're already strong, and you'll only get stronger the more you train. By the way, Gareth, right? I don't recall seeing you around here before. You should know, There's going to be a big battle here soon. You'd probably be safer here into Norwich or Manchester instead of staying here. Unless you came here looking to join Londinium's Roundtable army. We could really use all the help we can get at this point. Even so, I'm not sure Londinium is the best place for a lovely girl like you. There are still lots of holes in the roofs we haven't gotten around to patching up yet. Not to mention the ghosts that haunt us at night.
Excuse me? I'm sorry to interrupt, but did you really say your name was Percival?
Yup, that's me. Good name for a human, isn't it? I'm pretty fond of it myself.
Oh, please, let me introduce myself more properly. I'm Gareth, attendant to the child's prophecy. And I'm happy to tell you she's making her way to London right now.
Mm-hmm.
Gareth's really taking her time. Maybe I'm getting worked up over nothing, but can't help but worry. No, I think I'll go fetch some water myself. We can cross the hills after I get back.
I'll go with... Huh?
It looks like Gareth's back. Huh. I wonder why she's jumping up and down all excited like that.
I see she has someone with her, too. Someone tall and pretty handsome. I recognize that voice. I recognize that oversized breastplate.
Hey, guys! You'll never believe this! Look where I'm at. It's Percival, the leader of the Round Table Army and the strongest human in Britain.
I'm sorry. I know this isn't the most proper introduction. It's an honor to meet you, Child Prophecy. And you, Foreign Mage. I'm Percival, the Round Table's army's acting leader. I know I'm dressed like a knight, but I'm really just an ignorant country boy. I never studied the ways of chivalry, so I hope you can forgive any inadvertent rudeness on my part. Great to meet you too. Thank you. I'm glad to see you're in such high spirits. I understand why you're here now. You need a safe place to prepare for your confrontation with the Queen's army, yes? Then you're very welcome to stay with us in Londinium. I'm afraid it still needs a lot of repairs, so it's not in the best shape to welcome the Child Prophecy. But it's also one of the most heavily fortified places in Britain, and I promise my soldiers and I will keep you safe while you plan your next move. Not bad. So the supply team is back with lumber. Let's get to work repairing those ramparts. Send 80% to the outer walls and 20% to the inner walls. Focus on patching up the kids' homes first. The disguised merchants are heading out to Norwich this afternoon to buy supplies. If there's anything you need, add it to the list. Don't be shy. We've got the count backing us. Just go easy on the luxury goods. Yeah. Remember, we can't match the Fang Clan speed. We need to fight smarter, not harder. Take a beat before following up your spear strikes. Your opponents will dodge them easily if you thrust too soon. Keep your spears pointed ahead of you as soon as you sense the shield coming. And don't forget to keep your sword on hand too, so you can also stab your opponent in the flank at the same time. Don't bother with bows and arrows. You'll never hit anyone, and the enemy see you coming the moment you take aim. We'll have 10 archers firing volleys from the ramparts for defense. It should keep the enemy back, but if they actually hit someone, even better.
I only know how to sharpen blades, but I can still help. Look, mister, the tip of your spear's chipped. You'll never beat the fairy's fangs with that. Why don't you stop by our smithy sometime?
Ain't exactly pristine, but it sure is lively. Everyone's running around keeping busy with something.
At a glance, It looks like they've got around 300 combat-ready soldiers, give or take. If you count the humans taking shelter here, that about doubles the numbers. They probably have the old and feeble ones doing needlework in the back. This is great. I love it. It's not an army so much as a whole city in the middle of being rebuilt. I'm gonna go look for brides. I know what you mean. The walls and roads may be in terrible shape, but there's more life here than we've seen in any of the other cities. Of course, this is where London is located in probably human history. No wonder there's so much energy. Is something wrong? Oh, sorry. Nothing. I was wondering why such a beautiful place was... Artoria?
What were you thinking, Commander? You can't just go jumping off the ramparts and running off into the woods like that. You're the cornerstone of the Round Table Army, the hope of everyone in Londinium. You can't just wander off because something caught your eye anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice you have people with you. Are you all here to join the Round Table Army? If you come with me to registration at the town square, we can... That won't be necessary, Adgara. These people aren't here to join us. They're a very important guest. Isn't that right, Oberon? Yup, at least for now. Whether they end up joining the Round Table Army or not is ultimately up to Artoria. Oberon? Oh wow, it is Oberon! When did you get here? Hey, everyone! It's Oberon! That big jerk Oberon is back! You're right, it's really him. It's Oberon the cold-hearted it. You just showed up out of nowhere again. Where the hell have you been all this time? Gotta be sticking around a while. You don't want to make the kids cry again, do you? Every time you leave, it takes a little longer to cheer them all back up.
Let's go for us, ladies too. Your sweet nothings always make us feel like princesses. While we love those little moments of affection, you also need to take care of us afterwards. We still have lots of work to do, you know.
You too, huh?
Hey, it's not what you think, okay? I'm a very serious person here in Londinium, I swear.
Oh yeah, you're serious, alright. Serious about putting on performances every chance you get. Whenever you showed up, the whole Round Table Army goes back to being ordinary citizens. It's the closest thing we have to festive around here. Don't get me wrong, it helps us keep smiling even when times are tough, but... Wait, hang on. Didn't you say the next time you came back, you'd bring the child prophecy with you? No way. Is that...
Oh crap!
That's right. This is Artoria, the savior of Norwich you've all heard so much about. Her staff of selection was sent here from paradise, just like Percival's spear of selection. She's the child prophecy, the savior of Britain you've all been waiting for.
Let's finish this too. Yeah, I'm gonna call off. Boring match.
Huh, it really is like a festival. I guess we won't be able to talk to Artoria for a while. Seems like everyone in town's caught child prophecy fever. Maybe we should help her out, Oberon? I don't think she's too big on being fawned over like that.
Oh, I'm sure she isn't. Artoria's always been keenly aware of the pressure that comes with fairies pinning their hopes on her. At the same time, she's always been good at handling those very hopes. What do you think, Silkfrost? Should we rescue her from that crowd? No need. She's not making the face she usually does.
Oh? You look happy about this, Silkfrost. Is Artoria really handling this differently than usual?
She sure is. Usually, she stutters and fumbles for words for guilt and lack of confidence, but not this time. This is Londinium, a city that dreams of a proper future for Britain. The people she's talking to now aren't just hoping she'll keep them safe because they're only worried about themselves. She's seeing something much purer than that now. In fact, I bet she's actually proud to be the child of prophecy for the first time in her life. It's like her eyes have been clouded by everything she's seen all this time, and she's finally seeing clearly. What do you mean? Oh, nothing. It's just a thought I had. I am the Fairy King, after all, so I thought I'd try my hand at a little poetic figure of speech for once. I'm sorry everyone kept you so long. I hope it wasn't too much bother.
Oh no, no bother at all. They were all incredibly nice. You'll have to tell them I enjoyed my time immensely. On another note, Master's the only one not here. Is he still talking to the townspeople?
Hey, sorry I'm late. Had to take care of something. Turns out they do have a smithy here, but it's a damn shambles. They got a great furnace, but only one guy who knows how to tend it with a dam. You oughta come take a look, see, Artoria. It's one hell of a fixer-upper. They've got a ton of quartz crystals too, so you can make all the glass stuff you want.
Whoa, really? That sounds great. I'll definitely check it out. But not right now. Percival was just about to show us to the Round Table Army's war room. As a member of a child prophecy entourage, you are not to go off on your own like that anymore. Got it?
The child prophecy entourage? When'd you turn into Miss High and Mighty? You haven't even rung one damn bell yet. Oh, that attention go to your head or something? Nah, that ain't it. It's not Riaba, isn't it? Hey, I get it. Must be rough, seeing your old Femini living it up as a queen. Then again, it's not like you two are working with the same kind of materials. It's a shame you're a little too lacking in sex appeal to be queen yourself.
I heard that, Muramasa!
There's more than one way to be a king. Guess you're right. Sorry, Artoria. Could have been running in my mouth like that. Knock now, Riaba's weird aura must have left a bigger impression on me than I realized. It's wonderful to see you getting along so well. And I don't just mean the two of you. I mean everyone. I was worried that your child of prophecy might be buckling under the weight of her incredible responsibilities. But it looks like I was worried for nothing. We could learn a lot from your example.
Not at all. I'm the one who's learned a lot from the people of Londinium. I've been to plenty of different cities and they all had various class differences and complaints about their queen. Even so, one thing they all had in common was a wish for someone to save them from their situation. But the people of this town are different. They're also honest and they don't depend on anyone else. Now that I've talked to them myself, I see that there are fairies standing up for humans and humans standing up for fairies. They're not fighting just for themselves. They're standing up to the queen to make things better for everyone else. And I think that is exactly what a true knight of the Round Table should be. People who don't stand above or below one another, but who all stand side by side to help one another.
I have no way of knowing what a true knight of the Round Table is supposed to be like. But it's true that the Round Table Army isn't a resistance run solely by or for humans. We do want to change things for humans. But first, we want to change all of Britain for the better. We don't differentiate between humans and fairies. We're just people who share a dream for the future. Even I'm no more than one of many such people Lord Oberon assembled. Huh?
Oberon? You don't mean... No wonder you were so weirdly popular.
That's right. Lord Oberon founded the Round Table Army. He saved me when I had nowhere else to go, removed the curse of Londinium, and carefully, quietly traveled Britain in search of like-minded people. And he works himself to the bone to keep us funded. Though I've also heard he's earned a reputation as a notorious debtor throughout Britain. A lot of soldiers are under the impression that I'm the Round Table Army's leader. But I believe that role belongs to Lord Oberon.
Come on, cut that out. I've told you before, all I did was invest in this operation. You're the Round Table Army's leader, Percival. You're the one who grew it to this size.
Alright, if you insist, Lord Oberon. Let's just say that I managed to find all these wonderful allies through one person's dedicated efforts, rather than good fortune. Anyway, now that you're all more acclimated to Londinium, let me show you to our headquarters. Unfortunately, it's the only place so far to be both well guarded and have a proper roof. Sorry about that.
Hang on, Percival. What's this picture up on that wall?
Picture? Oh, that's a mural that was painted during the Fey era. None of us really know much about it though.
Is that 6 fairies dancing around a large beast? It almost looks like they're holding a festival.
Uh-oh.
But I've never seen any beasts like that in Britain before.
Looks like some kind of monster to me. Maybe a personification of calamities?
I don't know if I agree with that. The beast almost looks like it loves them. I think so too. You probably can't feel it because you're a proper human history heroic spirit, Muramasa. But this beast is definitely depicted as very loving. No British fairy would be afraid of this mural. If anything, I think it'd be seen as grand.
Huh? Because I'm a proper human history heroic spirit?
Grand, huh? I can't tell how it feels to Garrett and Habitraw since I'm not a fairy myself. But this wouldn't happen to be a religious painting, would it, Percival?
A religious painting? I'm sorry, I don't know what that word means. All I know is that this mural originally belonged to the fairies of Orkney, the Rain clan. It's said that a knight of Londinium brought it here from the ruins of Orkney, while Londinium was still being constructed. Apparently, it depicts the creation of Britain, and in Old Fairy language, it's known as the Abyssal Rim. A worm? Even though it looks like a piece. Oh, the Abyssal Rim. Worm. Ugh! Is something wrong, Silfrost? Did you see someone suspicious over there? It's nothing. It's just my imagination. Hey, Da Vinci. You said this was a religious painting, right? You mean you think it's a god?
Yeah, it probably is. The 6 fairies shown here are obviously stand-ins for the 6 clans. Probably the original forefathers. And whatever that big thing is, they're clearly worshipping it. That has to mean this creature stands above the fairies, which would make it a god.
But the thing is, there are no gods in Fairy Britain. Like I said, the Great Cathedral is only for show. I've been to almost every city in Britain looking for information, and I've never seen another mural like that.
That's my point. This mural's been around since before Morgan's rule. Hell, it's been around since before Fairy Britain was even a thing. Oh, so it's depicting something from the Fey era before it became the era of the High Queen. Wait, then does that mean Queen Morgan doesn't know about this mural?
Nah, she must. And it's probably no accident that it was left out of the history books. Once Morgan became queen, she wanted to be the only power the fairies believed in. So she erased the concept of godhood from Britain by pretending it never existed. That way, it could never pose a threat to her rule.
It may just be that this mural holds part of the answer as to what causes the calamities, and why there are no gods in Britain. Too bad the only words on it are written in Old Varian. I can't make heads or tails of it. Can you read it, Oberon? Here, look. This part here definitely looks like writing.
I'm sorry, but no. I can kind of read the modern fairy language now, but this is beyond me. I guess the only person who can read this are in Camelot's administration.
I see. Well, that's too bad.
Gosh, I had no idea this picture was so important. I'm sorry I am too uneducated to be of any help. Still, if it's that important, I will make arrangements to have it properly preserved right away, instead of leaving it exposed to the elements. I'll also look for historians and have them dig around to see if there are any other notable artifacts. If we're lucky, they might be able to turn up some other precious records. Good idea. Once we take over Norwich, we should have a lot more personnel to work with. Either way, we need to get to work on restoring Londinium. So the sooner we can put together a plan, the better. Huh?
I'm sorry. Did you say take over Norwich?
Huh? Alright, finish this and then call off. Welcome to the war room. We proposed a room from the bell tower because it gives us a view of all of Londinium. We've also proposed the rooms on the floor right below as guest room. So I hope you'll find them to your liking. Thanks, but we have something more important to talk about now.
Are you serious about taking over Norwich? I thought the Round Table Army's only enemy was the Queen. What reason could you have to attack anywhere apart from Camelot?
You're right. Normally, such a thing would be unthinkable for us. But we can't afford to ignore what's going on in Norwich. Your valiant efforts did lead to the destruction of the calamity of Norwich. But the instant of child prophecy left Camelot, Spriggan petitioned the Queen for military aid. He claims that the residents of Norwich now support the child prophecy, and are now traitors to the crown. He's using the child prophecy as an excuse to massacre fairies and take back his land. We only learned about this yesterday from a secret correspondence sent by someone calling himself the Count. The Queen's forces will probably arrive at Norwich tonight. I doubt we have more than 2 days to spare. We've already put out a call for our comrades across the land to come back to Londinium. As soon as they're all here, we'll set out for Norwich. Our goal is to occupy Norwich's gate and take control of the city before Spriggan can have his citizens massacred. Even if they paint us as barbaric invaders for doing so. I don't much like our chances of victory. Norwich's people aren't going to be happy to see us. Most fairies just think of the Round Table Army as a gang of militant humans. I doubt they see much difference between the Round Table Army and Spriggan, really.
A gang of human militants?
But please, I don't want you all worrying about that. We're the only ones who made this call. This isn't your battle to fight. You're here to recover. You'll be safe in Londinium. Not even the Queen's Magecraft can reach you here. Self-Frost. I know how Artoria must be feeling right now, too. You want me to be the one to say it, don't you? Let's go ring that bell, Artoria.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Oh man, this is gonna be rough. Alright, I understand. I've made up my mind too. First of all, you haven't once asked for my help. And neither did the people of Londinium. All you've done is encourage me and worry about me. You haven't demanded I save you in return, or anything at all. You've only wished me luck. So, I'm going to do my part too. I can't ring Norwich's bell by myself. I'm going to need your help. So please, help me. Help me show everyone that the Round Table Army isn't some gang of militant humans, but comrades of the Child Prophecy who are just as intent on saving Britain as she is.
It would be my genuine pleasure, Artoria. Thank you. I can't say if this battle of ours will ultimately be for good or for evil, but I can swear upon this land that we will do our best to make you proud. Allow me to fill you in on the makeup of the Round Table Army. We have one company made up of about 400 fairies and humans under my command that serves as our main military force. We also have 5 platoons of about 50 soldiers each. 2 of the platoons are led by 2 fairy knights who were part of the Queen's army, Aurelia and Etole. The other 3 are led by human knights, Henward, Landon, and Kawaz. I'll introduce you to everyone later. We have another 5 squads made up of like-minded comrades, but they're still in training. Their instructor is Secretary Magare, whom you all met earlier. Londinium is also home to a large number of civilians, as you saw for yourselves. They're the ones who handle construction, sewing, cooking, smithing, governance, and education. It's a lot of work for only 300 people, but they've all been doing a great job. Next, I should tell you about the city's reconstruction timetable and the amount of resources we'll need to procure each month in order to...
Wow, hold on, Percival. Why don't you just tell me all that nitty-gritty stuff later? Right now, it's probably better if we just focus on the Norwich attack. I mean, see for yourself.
Doing her best to listen politely, even though she's barely following along.
See? They hit the limits a while ago. You have to understand, it's only been the 8 of us for a while now. So you really need to ease them into discussion involving the best use of thousands of personnel, you know?
You're right. I'm sorry. I was just so touched by what Lady Artoria said that I didn't realize I was running my mouth. I'm so embarrassed.
Oh no, that's okay. I get pretty rambly when I'm happy too. But could you just call me Artoria, like you did before? I don't think I'm ready for it lady yet.
Of course, Artoria. Alright, let me try this again. We plan on sending half of my company and 3 of our platoons Norwich, so about 400 soldiers in total. In the meantime, the Count has gathered a group of anti-Queen, well, anti-Spriggan, really, MPs and residents Norwich who are also willing to fight. I'm told they number about 400 as well. So between ourselves and the Count's forces, we should have about 800 soldiers. That's what we'll have to defeat the troops the Queen sends from Camelot with. And to help you reach the bell tower in Spriggan's castle. 800, huh? Ain't much if you're hoping to take control of both the city and Spriggan's castle. Not to mention, we'll be up against fairies while half of our soldiers are human. You're not worried we might be outclassed? No, I'm not. The Round Table Army uses weapons and tactics that are optimized for fighting fairies. I have complete faith in our ability to make up for the difference in power. However, Spriggan's Vault Castle, as he calls it, will be too much for us to handle. It's an impregnable iron tower that neither human nor fairy can possibly break through. So I'd like to ask for your help in infiltrating it. So Frost, Lord Oberon has told me about your magecraft. He says that you're capable of summoning warriors in battle that can easily defeat an entire platoon. We won't be able to break through the Vault Castle's gate by sheer force. Our only hope is for a small team to sneak inside and open it from within. It will be a dangerous mission, but would you be willing to accept it?
Don't worry, I'm great at that sort of thing. And so is Artoria.
Just don't bring up Merlin Magecraft now! Stop fast!
Thank you, Sofrost. With you and Artoria helping, I think we have a real chance of victory. The platoons we have out on patrol in the south right now will be back by evening. Once they arrive, we'll set out for Norwich. Ideally, we should be able to arrive under cover of night and take control of the city before Spriggan can react. I hope you don't mind that I'll be leading the charge once we arrive, Artoria.
Not at all. This is your army. You should be giving the orders.
Alright, I'll go plan our attack with this new development in mind. The Count was kind enough to enclose a map with his letter. That should help us secure a route inside. There really isn't anything Count Preperon can't do, is there? I expect we'll be leaving in about 3 hours. Until then, take some time to relax.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go pay the textile workshop a visit then. That pile of unused cloth scraps was downright obscene. I know the weavers must be busy, but you couldn't make so many cute clothes for the children without that. So I'm gonna go help them out and prove just how dependable old Habitat can be. As for me, I consider myself your apprentice now, Percival. But I'd love it if you could give me more lessons on how to improve my knife skills.
Of course. Though I'm afraid I can only spare the time until the strategy outline comes in. I'm gonna go give the kids at the smithy some pointers. Well, as you can tell, this whole city's only got one decent blacksmith and a bunch of apprentices.
Guess I better go put in some overtime since I can't help much with the battle. Is there anything you'd like me to look into, Percival?
Yes, I'd like you to see what's happening in Oxford. Woodrose is the most likely of all the clan heads to lose patience first. So after Norwich, I'm guessing he'll be our next major threat.
I'm inclined to agree, yes. I'll talk to Aurora as well. See if she can keep him occupied for us. Aurora? But I thought she only has a self-defense force, not an army. Armies are just one of the tools for fighting a war, Da Vinci. You see, Woodrose has had kind of a thing for Aurora lately. So if the woman he wants so much but hasn't given him the time of day suddenly wanted to see him.
Wow, that's cold, Oberon.
Oh, don't worry. Aurora's a lot more open-minded than you might think. She'll be genuinely happy to show Woodrose some affection. No, wait. As kind as she is, she might actually make Woodrose fall hard for her. I better make her understand being too nice to him might lead to him on a bit. Alright, I'm gonna fly over to Salisbury. If all goes well, I'll see you guys again in Norwich. Okay, I'm gonna go introduce myself to Secretary Magyar. What are you going to do so fast, Artoria? I'm going to take Percival up on his kind offer and take a nap in the room below. It looks like we have a long nighttime march ahead of us, so I need to rest up while I can.
Good point. I think I'll do the same. Okay then, everyone, please meet back here in 3 hours. Our assault on Norwich begins at sunset. Alright, I'm done for that. I am going to bed now. Jeez, that was such a long story. Anyway, tune out for next time on Avalon FA. Big Grand Order. I'll see you guys in the next part of the live stream. So, peace out and have a good night.